Hi, it's been a while. I have not done any YouTube for quite some time now for various reasons, and I want to get back into doing it somewhat regularly. But before I get into that, I thought we might as well do something of like a life update, a little bit of catch up, so you kind of know what's going on more. Oh, there's a book. Careful. So yeah, welcome to our bedroom. This is where the magic happens. The magic being everything we still haven't managed to sort out after we moved. Yes, we moved house. We have a new house. So we moved with a baby. She wasn't even like a toddler, she wasn't one yet. So we moved with a baby. And my one advice for moving with a baby: don't do it. It's horrendous. If you can by any way avoid it, don't. She was right at that stage where she unpacks everything. She took everything out of boxes. And so every single day when he went to work, I would start packing, and then somebody would unpack everything I packed. So it took forever, but we did. We managed it. We have a new home. We love it here so far. It's really cozy, really comfy. It was quite a big change, but we did need that change. The old house was drafty and it was completely heated with just firewood and oil, and it wasn't really sustainable for us, and it cost us a bunch of money in just heating. So we moved to something more sustainable, both for the environment and for us. So now we live in a two-story. We only had one story before, or one story. We only had one story before, so now our bedroom is on the top floor, and her bedroom and the living room, the kitchen, all the other things are downstairs. The neighborhood is nice and fun. It's closer to the forest. It's also closer to like the center of our municipality, or one of them. So that's also really good. We like our neighbors. We so far like everything. And we have lived here since May, so it's actually a few months now that we've had this new house. Weird thing about moving here, it felt instantly like home. I have never really experienced that before. It always takes me quite some time to get settled, but when we moved here, it was just home. Just like that, instantly home. Another big like family related thing that happened is that baby turned 1. We had her first birthday party. We had about 30-ish guests all in all. She got so many nice gifts, and obviously I baked everything myself. It was so much fun, and we were able to be outside for the entire party. The entire event was held outside here at home. It was super cozy. I had made everything baked from scratch. I made every decoration from scratch. My mom did bake some things, and my mother-in-law baked 2 things as well, because those were both things I was not good at. I'm gonna show you a quick picture of the cake. This is the cake. I made the cake, I decorated the cake, and I'm so proud. I also decorated cupcakes for the first time in a very long time, and they turned out so cute. I was so proud. I also made the frosting from scratch, which was super fun. It was all in all a great birthday, and I'm so happy that it turned out the way it did. It was perfect. I get kind of teary thinking about it. She's not a baby anymore, she's a toddler. She's walking and talking and everything, and it's just, I don't know, she's not a baby. Okay, I'm gonna talk about something else now before I start crying, because it's kind of getting close. During that same amount of time, during the same few weeks, I also hit a big milestone in my weight loss. I don't know if you know about this or not, but I was wrongly medicated for a really long time, and I gained a huge amount of weight in a very short period of time, and my doctor said it was fine. And then I went to a different doctor years later and found out it wasn't. So I changed my meds, and then after that I started kind of struggling to get my body back to not necessarily where it had been before, because I've also aged a lot on that medication, just time wise. It's been like 10 years almost by this point. So I've just tried to get back to like a healthier body, and I don't know if you can tell, if you can see the difference in like my facial shape and my body shape and just overall structure. But I did lose 20 kilos, like in total, not, you know, over the summer when I was gone, just 20 kilos. It's a big number. I did struggle with it for quite some time. I didn't really want to get going again. After I dropped like the pregnancy weight really fast, it stagnated and it was frustrating. And then I decided to focus on, you know, not the weight loss itself. I just focused on being healthier overall, snacking not necessarily less, but changing what I snacked on, being more outside because I loved being outside and I didn't make it a priority. I also very recently started working out again, and then after that the switch from I'm gonna focus on weight loss to I'm gonna focus on overall health. Then after that it just kept going on its own, and now I'm up to 22 kilos down, and I am very, very proud. I don't have like, I don't have a weight loss goal. Like, I don't have this like, oh well, I get to this weight, I am done, it's over. That's not what I'm aiming for. I'm just aiming for being as healthy as possible every day and being around for and being able to play with my kids for as long as possible. I want to be able to lift them up and throw them around and chase them and do all the fun things that my overweight and achy body wasn't able to do. And I can do all of those things now. So I'm just gonna keep going at the speed that I'm going, and then we'll see where it takes me, I guess. There's also been some huge progress in the kind of finding myself department in the past few months. And a big part of that is probably because my fiancé started working. He got a new job. I'm very, very proud. Very, very proud. And that kind of let me grow into the stay-at-home mom role for real, because he had been kind of he was at home, but he was working on his master's thesis full time because he was paid to do so. So he was working, but he was also at home, and it made for quite a weird dynamic because he didn't have an office to go to. So he was just sat at home, so I was never really, you know, alone at home with baby. It was a weird time. But then after he went to work, I got to grow into this stay-at-home mom role in a completely different way, in a completely new way, and I love it so much. I love it so much. It's so much fun, and now that she's a toddler as well and she can walk on her own, she explores the world in new ways, and we're able to do very different things compared to what we could do, like for example at the beginning of the year when she was only 6 months. So we spend so much time outside every day, unless it's like raining, like properly raining. We're outside for at least 2 hours a day, and other than that we make crafts and we draw and we read. She reads, or well, she doesn't, you know, read yet, but she does sit with the books on her own, like in her lap. And then she's noticed when I read to her, I point to things and I tell them what they are. Like I'll go, oh, car. So she'll open up a book and sit with it in her hands or in her lap, and she'll point to the pages and go, "Alalala." It's so cute. I love it so much when she does it. I do still read to her a lot of the time. I don't know, but it's probably an hour on average a day that we just spend looking at books or talking about books, or me reading to her, her reading to me. It's one of her main interests, and I think it's super fun that it matches with mine. I also managed to get back into working out recently. I'm still running. I'm a very slow runner, and I don't run far, but I think it's super fun, and I think that's the most important part. I got back into hiking. I have read myself like 100 books or something this year. I don't remember the exact number. I can put a screenshot of the amount of books somewhere on the side there if you're interested in that kind of thing. And I'm kind of back into photography. I don't know, I feel like I'm doing so much more than I did just a few months ago. Like this time last year I did nothing. But then again, you know, this time last year I had a newborn, but this time also 2 years ago I did pretty much nothing. It's so fun to have proper interests again, and spending time with those interests it's wild. It's a very weird concept to me, and I don't think you can really understand what it's like unless you've gone through the same kind of medicinal cycle that I have, where you have to quit all your meds and you have to figure out what kind of a person you are because you've been on them so long you genuinely don't remember because it's been your entire adult life. So it's fun to have interests again. I'm starting to feel like me. I feel like a person, and that's also a feeling I don't know if I have ever truly had. So that's incredibly fun. Another thing that happened to us, and that was a tragedy that struck our entire family, was us losing one of our cats. We've had 3 cats before, and we still have 3 cats now. I'll get to explaining that part of it later, but we unfortunately had to put Nelly down as a result of an accident. I have a clip from a vlog I was filming that day, and I'll just insert it here and you can watch that. Okay, so some time has passed since I recorded that first part of the vlog, of the video, and that last video that you saw before this one was the last thing I recorded that day, because it turns out we unfortunately had to put our cat down. The vet concluded that she had had a traumatic injury to the head and there was nothing we could do. So I had already made the decision before I called my fiancé, but I figured, you know, he should also get a say. So I did call him and he said, yeah, it sounds like that's the only option, and it was. So she was buried that same Wednesday at our summer cottage. So she's there now. And after all of that, it was just too heavy to keep recording, you know, obviously. But I still wanted to record this and kind of explain what happened, and maybe also in the process process my own feelings about it. Nelly was a weird cat. She didn't like affection very much. She kept herself a lot, so we never really, you know, bonded the way you sometimes do with pets. And I didn't think I would take it that hard that we had to put her down. It was really, really difficult for me, and I was incredibly sad. And now it's been 2-3 weeks at this point, and I still feel so intensely that something is missing, like something is gone, and it doesn't feel right still. And I didn't expect that. I didn't imagine that it would be this difficult, this hard. It's been a few weeks now since she died. We buried her at our summer cottage, which was a place where she was always really happy, and I think it's nice that she gets to rest there. It's still difficult. I still sometimes expect her to just appear out of nowhere around the house, because she used to do that. And it felt empty here for a really long time, because she was the youngest one and she was the most energetic, and she used to run around and just make a mess. And it's weird that she's not here anymore. It got so dark outside, I'm sorry. It's cloudy today, so sometimes the light is really good and sometimes I'm almost disappearing. But yeah, we still have 3 cats. We did have 4 cats for about a week and a half. It was a weird situation. Long story short, one of my family members went to New Zealand. From Finland to New Zealand, it's quite the journey, and she did have everything sorted out, but then stuff happened that was out of her control, and suddenly Daisy was without a home. And this is what Daisy looks like. I thought she was in here and I was gonna show her to you while I was recording, but she is not. But Daisy is now a part of our family, and I remember jokingly saying to several people at the time that, you know, we never planned on having 4 cats. And then turns out we didn't have 4 cats for very long. And I really feel that, you know, she came here for a reason. I think the universe somehow knew that we would have an empty space in our hearts after a very short amount of time, and that she was going to be able to not fill that spot. I don't think anyone can ever fill that spot again, but she has helped us heal, I think. So she's kind of, I don't want to say fostering, but she's adopted, fostering something, some kind of mixture of those. And she loves it here. She's been really comfortable from like the get-go. The first day she was already, you know, playing with baby and hanging out, and she came into my lap like on her own, and I was told that she doesn't usually do that, but I guess she just really liked being here. She sleeps in our bed like the other 2 do. I don't know, she just seems to think of this as home, which is really nice for us. She also fits really well in with the dynamic of the other 2, because they're a little older, a little calmer, and then now she gets to be, you know, the young, rambunctious one, getting into trouble, making a mess around the house. She's really affectionate towards baby as well. They cuddle together. Daisy likes getting pets from her, which is, you know, interesting, because she loves a lot, but she loves violently like most 1-year-olds do. She's getting better at it, slowly but surely. I also spoke a bit about my new interests, or not new, but, you know, rediscovering my old ones. And I used to be really into horses, which probably doesn't come as a surprise, because, you know, the geeky adult, probably a horse kid of some kind. And I got back into that. My friend used to help take care of this horse, and then she moved away to work on I don't know how to explain it, a science project basically. She moved quite far away, still within the country, but you know, far enough that she wouldn't be able to help take care of her friend's horse anymore. And then the owner of the horse had asked, you know, do you know anyone who might be interested in helping out with the horse? And she was like, I may have an idea. So I am helping to take care of a horse also now. It happened very fast and kind of out of the blue, which is, I don't know, it seems like there's just that, it's just that way stuff happens in my life, fast, out of the blue. 90% of my life is just pleasant surprises. So this is the horse. His name is Krumelur, which in English would translate to squiggle, I guess. He is nice, he is old, he is very, very determined to get the way he wants. But he's also very cute and cuddly and comfy, and I love taking care of him. So I go once a week, usually on Thursdays, and I help out with feeding and grooming and training, all the things, you know, that you have to do if you have a horse. Because, you know, having a horse is, well, there's a reason some people do it as a full-time job, and he could absolutely be a full-time job. But his owner does have an actual full-time job, and she likes a bit of help, so I help. I think that's everything, or well, you know, obviously not everything. There's so many more things that have happened in the past few months, but you know, as far as a quick catching up goes, I think it's everything. It's hard to try to fit everything into like 20 minutes, and I think this is gonna be longer than 20 minutes, maybe. But it is difficult. But I tried fitting it in as quickly as I could. I know some of you have left comments on the blog in the past asking, you know, when are you coming back to YouTube? Are you gonna do YouTube anymore? Because a lot of you thought it was nice to have it on kind of in the background as like a podcast like thing. And you know, obviously people watch for other reasons as well, but a lot of you commented on that aspect, especially people who know me in real life said it's nice to have me kind of babbling on in the background, because they already know all of these things, because they see me on a regular basis. And I'm also going to try to answer that question quickly, but I'm afraid it's not going to be a very clear answer. Being a stay-at-home mom means that every day looks very, very different. I don't have a set working schedule. I don't have this rigid like, 8 to 4, which a lot of people have. You know, sometimes she sleeps longer during the day and sometimes she sleeps shorter, so I won't be back with like a regular upload schedule, like, oh, there will be this and this on Mondays and then on Wednesdays there'll be this. No, that's not that. I can't maintain that. There's no way. But I do want to give social media more of like an honest shot, because I've been saying it for a long time that this is something that I would like to do full-time, but I've never really given it enough attention and enough time and enough care for it to develop into something I could even be doing part-time. But I think this is the time to do that. I think this is the time to go all in that way and try. Because if I don't try, there's no way of knowing if it would have ever worked out. So I think this is gonna be it. I'm gonna put more effort into it, and I will try to upload a few times a week. I can't promise set days, but I will try to have one in the beginning of the week and one kind of towards the end, at least, and then maybe something small sprinkled in between. I'm also considering starting to review books. I'm actually working on a script to review this book in a video, The Hotel by Daisy Johnson, because one of my friends said a few weeks ago, you know, you read so much, why don't you do anything with the stuff you read? Because she also reads and she would like recommendations, and she said, you know, you read everything under the sun, why not do something, you know, useful with it other than read them? So this is gonna be the first one, I think, and then once I'm finished with this, I'm gonna record a review as is like a separate kind of little series here on the channel. I don't really know what that's gonna look like yet, but it's gonna happen sometime in the near future. Other than that, there will probably be both vlogs and the kind of, you know, sit down videos like this. Maybe it's all very up in the air still. I don't know. Once in the beginning of the week and once at the end of the week. That's all I'm gonna promise for now. And then some book stuff in between. I'm gonna stop rambling here, and I'm gonna thank you all so much for watching this today. It's been fun to do this again. I really liked it. It feels so therapeutic to just sit here and spew about all the things that have happened in my life. It was fun. I hope you also thought it was fun. And now I'm gonna go sit down and maybe hopefully edit this at some point during the day. Thank you so much for watching this. I'm happy you made it this far, and I will see you later. Remember to subscribe to the channel, and I don't know, we'll see what happens. Bye. That was weirdly therapeutic. I didn't expect it to be this much fun to sit in front of a camera again, but oh wow, it was so much fun. I feel so much better than I did before, because I was kind of sad, but now I'm not. So thank you for improving my mood today. I needed a little boost, and I feel like I got a little boost. So thanks.